the most generous billionaire ever, where you can get 10% off on your trading fee.
Please use my link to sign up to this credit card.
The thing I'm most excited about for this year is the Bitcoin Rewards credit card, which we're launching.
You trust the guy more when you see the car he drives. He's worth like $20 billion or something.
A few moments later.
FTX went from a $32 billion company to bankruptcy in the matter of just 4 days or so.
Guys, you know, I try not to be negative on this channel, but oh my God, finance YouTubers, some of them at least, are trash. And I'm only saying that because if you know anything about crypto, I've kind of been studying crypto since around 2013. You know that it's not only accepted that crypto exchanges can and will probably get broken into, it's almost starting to become like a common occurrence. The amount of times that you see a breaking news article of another crypto exchange being broken into and people's wallets getting stolen. And so my question is, why, as a finance YouTuber, knowing these risks, would you ever push a crypto exchange on your viewers? It's absolutely nuts, and we all know why they do it. It's because they're getting a huge kickback with the promotion. And the crazy thing is, the minute your YouTube channel passes 1,000 subscribers, what happens with your email, at least the email that's connected to your YouTube channel, is that you start getting flooded with all of these sponsorship requests. And the number one type of company that has been flooding at least my inbox is either a overseas exchange type of company or a crypto type of company. And I've been saying no to every single one of them. And I'm not trying to toot my horn here, not at all. What I'm trying to say is that I am not a crypto expert. I am not smart enough to understand exactly what the risks are. And I understand how these crypto exchanges will get crypto investors to put their cash and their crypto on the exchanges. They do provide you guys with an interest amount, some as high as 8%, and there's probably even higher percentages being offered. But the question is, what exactly are they doing to generate that 8%? They have to go out and generate a much higher return than 8% in a 0% interest environment to give you your 8%. So obviously they're making risky loans, or they're taking some outsized type of risk to generate that return. That to me spells like it's a recipe for disaster, and that's what it looks like inevitably ended up happening here. But my question is, why weren't these YouTubers who are pushing these products on you asking these questions? And the real issue is, if they did ask those questions and they did understand the risks, why did they continue pushing these investments? That's a really scary question to ask, and I really think that it puts a black eye on the finance investing community. And so I never took that sponsorship money and pushed that onto my viewers. Now look, I've said it many times on this channel before. The reason why I started this YouTube channel is to help people, not to take. I believe in giving more to the world than I take myself. This channel is about legacy. This is something that I want my son, when he's older, to watch and learn a lot from. And so every time I produce a video, I think about my son 15 years from now, when he's old enough to understand sort of like what finance is and start wanting to learn about it. At least I think that he'd want to learn about it, and even if he doesn't, that's okay. I still think about him when I make these videos, because you know what? There's a lot of you guys, especially there's a lot of students that watch this channel, and I try my best to absolutely help you guys and try to teach you how to like model companies, think about risk. But the number one thing that I always try to push as it relates to investing is that we need humility, because we don't understand everything. That's why I push for such a huge margin of safety, even on companies where I'm a huge bull on the story. And you know what's happening now? All these finance YouTubers that didn't just push the crypto stuff, but they also pushed all of these stocks at sky high valuations. All of their viewers who bought into that garbage are all losing money in this environment. And at least twice a week, someone writes in my comments saying, hey, Tay, can you just tell us what your portfolio is? And this is one of the reasons why I don't tell people what my portfolio is because I don't want you to follow me. I want you to learn from the channel. I want you to make intelligent decisions yourself. And I want you to question me on every single one of my assumptions in my models, which is what people do on our monthly calls every month with the Patreons. And I love that, because at least on this channel, we have an ecosystem of independent thinkers, people that are not going to fall for the hype. And if you guys don't really know what's happening right now, let me try and explain it to you. So FTX, which is that crypto exchange, has filed for bankruptcy. At least a couple of days ago they did. And now it appears as though there's a hack and people are locked out of their wallets. And so people are just losing all of their money, which was not exactly unexpected considering the track record for crypto exchanges. And so I think at least if you're going to be pushing FTX, at least let your viewers know that previously crypto exchanges have been hacked into. This thing happens commonly. Like, can you imagine if the NYSE or the NASDAQ had a history of getting broken into, and so we're always switching exchanges to where we trade our stocks? That would be absolutely nuts. Now, here's the news report discussing the FTX bankruptcy.
Sam Bankman-Fried is stepping down as CEO. The 30-year-old will stay on through the Chapter 11 transition. He tweeted this morning. He says, "I'm really sorry again that we ended up here. Hopefully things can find a way to recover, and this can bring some amount of transparency, trust, and governance to customers." He also says he was shocked to see things unravel the way they did earlier this week. This bankruptcy filing includes Bankman-Fried's quant trading firm Alameda Research and 134 affiliated companies all over the world. You've got places like Nigeria and Uganda, South Africa, to Europe, Hong Kong, and Switzerland. The estimated liabilities stand at between $10 billion to $50 billion.
Now, the founder of Skybridge Capital, who also happens to be a former Goldman Sachs guy by the name of Anthony Scaramucci, actually flew down to the Bahamas to see what was going on with this particular crypto exchange. And he's insinuating that there could potentially be a lot of fraud going on, which is what initially caused the bankruptcy filing. Here's Scaramucci.
When I got to the Bahamas, it became clear, at least from some of the people that worked on the legal team, and the compliance team, that perhaps there was more going on than it being a rescue situation. So when I left the Bahamas in the afternoon, I was actually distressed. I don't want to call it fraud at this moment because that's actually a legal term. And none of us know, and we have to leave it up to the regulators.
And of course, now we're hearing reports that the FTX exchange actually got hacked and people are locked out of their accounts and funds have been completely taken out of people's wallets. You can see here that this is a news report that recently came out which it says the FTX has been hacked. It's a crypto disaster. And the exchange has seen mysterious outflows exceeding $600 million. So this could potentially be the largest crypto exchange hack to date. Guys, let me know if I got that right. Now, when you go into the article, you can see that they said more than $600 million was siphoned from FTX crypto wallets late on Friday. Soon after, FTX stated in its official Telegram channel that it has been compromised, instructing users not to install any new upgrades and to delete all FTX apps. And they were moving all of their digital assets that remain, at least, to cold storage because of Friday's bankruptcy. Now, my question is, for anybody that does hold crypto, why don't you guys all have it in cold storage? Look, I'm not smart enough to understand why there'd be a benefit of holding it at an exchange, but from my perspective, just based on all of the hacks that happen, it just makes sense that if you're gonna hold crypto, now I don't hold any crypto, but if you're gonna hold it, you hold it in a cold storage that's locked in a safe or at least in a bank security deposit box. That's the way I think about it. But you guys let me know, what am I missing with my thought pattern there? Because it just makes a lot of sense to not have your crypto on the wire where it's susceptible to getting hacked. Now, one of the things that I found very interesting is exactly how much these finance YouTubers have been simping for this crypto exchange guy. It's actually very cringe. And if you don't believe me, take a look at how they talked about him in their videos.
Sam doesn't need the money to buy a Lamborghini or to buy a Rolex or to impress his friends. Okay, the guy you see next to me is the most generous billionaire in the world. And I found him. In fact, his car is a Toyota Corolla.
You trust the guy more when you see the car he drives. He's worth like $20 billion or something, and he drives like this kind. I don't want to call it beat up. It's like it's an older Toyota. He doesn't even have window tints on the completely stock Toyota.
Like what? What does his car have anything to do with the safety and security of the exchange? You would think that that'd be the most important thing that these people would be talking about. I haven't seen them talk about it at all. I might have missed it. Guys, let me know and link a video if they are talking about the security of this particular exchange, because in light of the fact that all of these other exchanges have gotten broken into, why is it that this one is different? And of course, why would you be so critical when you have the ability to pitch their products and make millions of dollars?
Fees are bad. Fees are very bad. But FTX, there are no fees whatsoever. whatsoever. And if you sign up with our link,
signing up using my link,
there are referral links. If you use my link below and the code name Tom Nash.
It's crazy that this even happened. Now, all of these guys are now on an apology tour, and I think it's a little bit nuts, the strategy that they're taking. One guy who's the biggest finance YouTuber, his strategy is that he's telling you that he didn't see this coming. And you know what? Like, I'm not going to try to harp on him too much because he very well could have not seen it coming. But I feel like if you took 5 minutes to understand what crypto exchanges are and what their susceptibilities are to getting hacked, you don't even need to know Bitcoin. Like, I know very little about Bitcoin, but I still knew not to push a Bitcoin exchange. How did you, a full-time finance YouTuber, miss this? And so here's Stefan Graham making the argument that he didn't see it coming.
Sponsor here on the channel for the majority of the year. This one I did not see coming. I think it's pretty safe to say as a result of that, I'm no longer working with them.
Like, that's crazy. Sorry guys, you're poor, you guys lost your money, but in order to make somewhat of an amends, I'm gonna stop working with the people that stole your money. That's crazy. But it gets even crazier because there's another finance YouTuber who once again is very large in the space. He actually had the balls to say absolutely nobody lost money because nobody used the sponsorship links that he pushed on his channel. Here's Tom Nash making that point.
I think that you all deserve me to talk about FTX. I was working with them a few months ago for about 30 days. Somehow, during this whole month we were running the campaign, literally nobody signed up for FTX US. They called me and I was insulted in the beginning. And they said, look, Tom, we got to cut it short because we had like a 3-month plan to work together. And they said, look, we're stopping after 1 month because nobody's signing up from your channel.
Now, if you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you because that's a nuts explanation. Just apologize, say you were wrong, say why you were wrong, and move on. This is crazy, and this is a huge black eye on the finance investor community, and it just drives me crazy. Now, I want to know what you guys think about this whole situation. Let me know in the comments below. And if you guys haven't seen that video of me trying to value Bitcoin, don't worry about it. Nobody saw that video. It was very early when I started this channel. I'll link that video right here.